What goes up must come down. Yeah, my feet don't touch the ground. See the world spinning upside down. A mighty crash without a sound. I can feel your every rage. Step aside, I'll turn the page. Breaking through your crazy maze. Like a laser beam, my eyes on you. Watch me rule the night away. Watch me save the day. Feel my storm is getting close. Heading your way. Sonic heroes. Sonic heroes. Find you, confine you, defying your blade. Sonic heroes. Sonic heroes. Setting the stage for a hero's parade. Sonic heroes. Give us a reason and we're on our way.
Hello everyone, and welcome to a brand new Let's Play project of Sonic Heroes for the GameCube. A game that I find pretty underrated in my opinion of things. And here I am making an LP of it today, basically showing you why I think it's good, and you may enjoy it, or you may not. This is all basically just my opinion of the game, and you can go with it or you may not. One thing I find that's a bit strange though, and this is actually pretty small, but pretty big if you ask me, is there are like 99 save files on this game. That is how much, save files you have on this, which is ridiculous. It definitely beats Pokemon and stuff like that, but still.
Team Sonic features high-speed gameplay and intense team action.
Yes, thank you very much, Oma Chow, even though I don't like your existence. Seriously, that thing's annoying. Either way, let's just go straight on to Team Sonic.
Hey look, it's Sonic!
Yo, Tails! Long time no see!
Sonic, check this out!
Guess what, Sonic Heroes? I finally developed the ultimate weapon. In 3 days, I'll conquer the world. Think you can stop me?
Sounds like an invitation to party.
What are we gonna do, Sonic?
No worries, we've got this one.
Ha! Think I'd miss this? Time to crack that Eggman wide open! Yeah, let's party!
Whoa, wait, the plane! The plane, it's gonna crash! I never got that. I always find that really strange on that bit, given for that Tails is clearly piloting the plane and stuff, and then suddenly they both jump out and then the plane just goes on and crashes somewhere for some reason. Either way, enough of that, this is Sonic Heroes, a game that's pretty different compared to most Sonic games. This is not similar to anything you know on like the Genesis or Mega Drive games, not even, the Hedgehog's Adventure days with Adventure 1 and 2. Because they throw in this new mechanic, which a lot of people hate for some reason, but I honestly like it or so, which is basically teamwork, where you get given 3 elements, in the game. You have power, flight, and speed, where Sonic obviously is speed, Knuckles is power, and Tails is flight and things. And what you can basically use are their powers in order to progress through a level, but there are some certain parts of the game where you'll have to use that power in order to progress forward, and it's basically just with the power of teamwork, as Sonic calls it later on in the game. You'll see what I mean later on. But even though you just think, oh, it's okay, it doesn't seem that bad, you'll find that when you level them up, they get stronger and stronger, and the game just turns from being really slow to pretty freaking fast, if you ask me. Because if you look at at the top right, you'll notice these 3 circles, next to the characters on their emblems. Those are basically the levels that they're on, where right now, as I'm playing as Sonic, and that's okay, lovely, At the moment he's at level 2, and the highest they get up to is level 3. When they're all leveled up to level 3, you know, they are basically strong as ever, and they can just plow through enemies, and the speed's just right, if you ask me. It's only if you die that the levels reset, and your points as well, really. So, you know, as soon as you die and stuff, your characters just go back to being their normal selves, and the game's a bit slower from there, if you ask me. So that's why I can say, when you play this game, don't die or so, because you can just keep your levels, and then, you know, the game's just a lot faster. Like, look at Tails just taking out all those enemies in style, just like that, you know? With level 1, you would have to knock them down slowly, and then turn into Knuckles and punch them. But because I've leveled up Tails so freaking fast, you know, none of these characters just have any problems. That, and also, you know, this is also, Seaside Hill, which is the first level on the stage. I honestly like this level for a first level. Nowhere near though as good as, say, like, City Escape. That is a fantastic starting level in a video game, if you ask me. Just, you know, like, being on, like, the bit of the plane going down, like, the road, skating down it, and then just with a badass soundtrack in the background. I love it. And I also love the soundtrack to Sonic Heroes as well. That's probably, like, one of my favourite things about it, because I find that, in my opinion, Sonic Heroes has probably one of the best soundtracks in the Sonic series. I love the soundtrack of this game, you know, you just have rock and all that, and just, it really suits the levels, and it just sounds really exciting and stuff, you know, just whenever I think of music, that's the type when it, you know, Sonic comes into my head or something like that. There are also certain parts of the game where even though you're just running and using the characters, you have to hop in vehicles, but yeah, they're only for a bit, and they still capture the sense of speed. This is my only complaint with what people have to say about this game, really, you know. Some people call this game, yeah, it's alright, but it's too slow. Well, the reason why it's too slow is because you haven't quite grasped how everything works, you know. You haven't really got the hang of, like, the teams going on or anything like that, and you keep dying and stuff, and you're not really learning much, to be honest. Which is why I find that the more you play this game, the more you get familiar with how everything works, and you may enjoy it. Yeah, you may. Because you might not after all this, it just depends for, like, personal tastes at the end of the day. Fortunately though, I am one of the people that loves this game, and I'm going to do my best to show it off in this LP. And I hope you guys enjoy it.
Blast away!
That right there was a team blast, where when you defeat a certain number of enemies and rings and just collect points in general, this little meter will build up, you know, at the top right of the screen. When that gets to the top, you basically press the Z button, and you are able to use, like, this special team blast to take out a whole screen of enemies and stuff, and it's just super satisfying to do. I suppose you could technically say, you know, it's the Smash Ball of the Sonic universe, you know what I'm saying? And with all of those points, including so much time bonus, as you have to be fast as well. I mean, it is Team Sonic. Come on, gotta go fast. You get given an A rank, with a grand total of, like, over 71,000 points. I don't know what the actual number is that you need to get, but what I can say is, if you want to get an A rank, just be fast. You know, defeat the enemies, level yourself up, and just go fast through it, through great teamwork, really. And now we're on to Stage 2, Ocean Palace.
A sea palace.
Looks like Eggman's robots are here too.
I'm ready to take them out.
One thing that I do have, which is, I suppose a bit nitpicky or so, but it doesn't bother me too much about the game, is its dialogue. At the beginning, you just heard them, you know, talking about the environment that they're in, saying about a sea palace. But throughout most of the game, it's the same lines being said over and over again. Just like that rather infamous quote right there by Tails. Look at all those Eggman's robots! Oh god, you gotta love grammar. You gotta love grammar, man. But, you know, like, later on through the level or so, while they do talk about the environments, at some points, you know, you may hear just like, oh man, there are so many enemies. I'll take care of them. And, you know, it's repetitive. Some people find it annoying. I find it a bit annoying, I suppose, but it doesn't make the game bad or anything, if you ask me. Seriously, I don't consider this a bad Sonic game like a lot of people do. Although I tell you, the reason why a lot of people probably consider this a bad game is because they've played the version that I grew up with. When I was a kid, and I'm talking like 6 years old, bloody hell, I feel old. The version I played first of Sonic Heroes was the PS2 version, and that is by far the worst version out of all of them. For this LP, I'm playing the GameCube version mainly due to its amazing and smooth, frame rate, because this game runs in smooth 60 frames per second all the way. In fact, you can even watch this video in 60 frames per second if you want. The controls are a bit tighter, and, just it's overall the best port, because the PS2's frame rate is terrible. At one point, the game just slows down horrendously. It does not run in 60 frames per second at all, apart from the menu, but yay, the menu. And, there was a lot more bugs and glitches going on. Basically, just put the PS2 version is not as smooth when it comes to graphics, and also, it's programmed not as well and things. This game, though, is not programmed that well just in general, because there are an awful lot of bugs and glitches that you're going to find probably in the GameCube version as well, but just not enough. All I can suggest is just be careful. Like, learn the levels, learn the layout and stuff, and then just try to not fall off the edges. So you may have that at some point, where just suddenly, like, a screen may not work or something and you'll just fly off the edge. But glitches can happen in pretty much any game, depending on how you play. Sonic Heroes isn't programmed very well in places, but I honestly find that it doesn't make it game-breaking. Yeah, others do, I don't. And hopefully you'll see that through the course of this LP. Also, by the way, the thing that I picked up earlier, which you probably noticed, but the game is so freaking fast, you probably didn't. If you look at the top left corner, you'll notice like this golden key. And what that's for is basically... Oh, I lost it, wonderful. Yeah, if you get hit, you lose it or so, but when you have it, if you make it to the end of the stage with the key, you basically get to access the special stages. And I did have the keys, in like the previous zone, Seaside Hill, but you'll find that with, like, the first level in each zone, it only takes you to, like, a bonus challenge or so, whereas the ones that I'm doing, like in Ocean Palace, they give you an Emerald challenge, which is basically how you get the Chaos Emeralds. So in order to get the Chaos Emeralds, you basically have to grab hold of the key and make it to the very end of the stage without getting hit. It's a bit difficult and things, and I had a lot of trouble with this as a kid. Nowadays, not so much, but I occasionally do, especially when the invincibility frames in this game are terrible. Seriously, this is like Jack 2 levels of frustration right here, because when you get hit, the invincibility frames usually last for around a couple of seconds. This is like 1 or 2 seconds. So by the time you got back up again, you're going to get hit by another missile, like incoming and stuff like that. I don't know. I just hate the invincibility frames of this game. Also, luckily I got a key at the very end there, because while you do take a hit when you have the key, you can pick like 1 or 2 up, later on across the level, so you don't have to have the first key and keep hold of it all the way to the very end. Where if you do take a hit, you do still have another chance. You just gotta be careful, pretty much. And I'm doing everything all at once, really. I'm gonna be collecting, all the Chaos Emeralds, grabbing the keys, getting all the A ranks, because I am just a total nutcase. That's just like how I like playing Sonic Heroes in general, because it feels fast to me. It doesn't feel slow or tedious or anything.
Yes!
And I really like the level design to Team Sonic's as well, because, all the levels feel balanced. Like, the difficulty progressively gets more and more difficult. Like, there isn't just one level where it's the hardest thing ever, and then the next one's just, it's as easy as the first level or anything, Each level just, it feels balanced for difficulty and length, and I just love playing through Team Sonic. It's by far my favourite team out of all of them, because it's just so freaking accessible, And you'll see that later on through the LP. And now we have our second emblem. I don't know how much I collect. I think it's like 50 or so in this. But now, I'm going to shut up on this because look at how long this special stage is for the first one.
Got it!
And got it. Yeah, that's pretty much it, really. If you just change into Knuckles, and then you spam the B button as soon as he gets to level 2, and then just hold it down, you can just grab the emerald so goddamn fast, and just make it look like a complete joke. Not only that, but you also get 4 1-ups. It's pretty broken, but I find it pretty hilarious myself.
Stop your futile efforts. You just make fools of yourself.
I think you got that backwards, Doc.
And now we fight the first boss in the game, which is really, really easy. I don't know if you can consider this boss broken due to the way you defeat it, but at least it gets you familiar with how the teams work. Like seriously, when I played this boss as a kid, it made me realise Knuckles is the one that's going to deal the most damage on the enemies in face. Because the main tactic to this guy is just spam the crap out of the B button on the bird, particularly on the head or so, because you'll notice his health just completely drains down to 0 on the very first phase. Just like that, see? So, really the tactic, is get him down, turn into Knuckles, and then just beat the living crap out of it, really. But like I said, it got me familiar with Knuckles is the strongest type, therefore he can take out enemies the fastest.
Ready for the junk pile.
Pretty much from what he just said there. But either way, I hope you guys have enjoyed this one, and I'll see you in episode 2 of Sonic Heroes for the GameCube. I hope you've enjoyed it.